Hi guys, in today's video we are going to be taking a look at 8 costume Easter eggs you may have missed in Plants vs Zombies Battle for Neighborville. As usual, just before we begin, remember to hit those like and subscribe buttons if you enjoy the content on this channel and want to help it grow. Anyway, let's get started. So some of these costume Easter eggs may be more obvious than others, and we do actually have one for a costume that hasn't actually been released yet. But we're going to start off with a SpongeBob SquarePants Easter egg.
Are you ready, kids?
Yes, that's right, the first costume on this list is Deadbeard's Captain Shipwrecked costume, which has a reference to the Krusty Krab from SpongeBob on it. I feel like this one is one of those Easter eggs that just stares you in the face, but you just don't realise it's there. Now, if you didn't already notice, the hat that comes with this awesome outfit resembles a very similar shape to the Krusty Krab restaurant. It's also made of wood, and even the sides of the hat have that same crisscross effect as with the Krusty Krab's design. And if you're not sold already, we also have a number of crabs on the hat, as well as this large crab pincer sticking out of the top. The next Easter egg reference is for 80s action heroes The Finisher costume, which is a reference to Mad Max. Now, there are a number of references on this costume. First off is the overall leather and spiked aesthetic. The visuals really made me think of some sort of motorbike raider. I then read the description, which says, "He didn't start the apocalypse, but he'll finish it," whatever that means, which immediately made me think of Mad Max. And whilst the costume overall doesn't look completely the same as Max's outfit, if you take a look at the back of this costume, you will notice this snake. Now, this snake is actually a reference to the Cobra truck that can be seen in the film. If you take a look at this image, you will notice there is a snake logo on the side of the truck, which is almost identical to the one we see on 80s Action Hero. Next up, we have the Overlord Zorgy costume for Space Cadet, and this one I wouldn't have noticed if it wasn't for some of you guys in the Discord server, so I wanted to say thank you to all those who helped me find the Easter eggs for this video. Anyway, this costume is actually a reference to Emperor Zurg from Toy Story. Not only is the name of the costume quite similar, there are a number of things in this costume which these two characters share. The main one is the Z logo. If you take a look at the design of this Z, both Zurg and Zorgy have this extra little zigzag to make the Z look kind of like a lightning bolt. The only difference here is that Overlord Zorgy's is at the top, not the bottom of the Z. Another similarity is the colour palette, both of which have almost the same purple, with the only difference being red on Zurg and orange on Zorgy. Also, if you take a look at the costumes that Space Cadet is actually wearing, you will notice they both share this sort of black collar as well as the metal arms. Finally, Zorgy is actually holding a teddy bear with one of the spaceship's grabbers, which may be referencing the toy in Toy Story. The next Easter egg is actually a double Easter egg and is related to the new costumes for PEASHOOTER that were released in the latest prize map. Now, these might be obvious, but if you haven't seen the films, you might not know. Well, one of them, put it that way. So first we have the Future Crop costume. Not only does this share a similar name, it also looks very similar. If you haven't already worked it out, yes, this costume is a reference to RoboCop, and if you need any more references or explanation, the description says it all. The second costume for PEASHOOTER is called Highly Decorated Crop, and it's probably less likely to be a reference, but you can't deny that from the red and yellow colours used on this costume, it looks very much like Iron Man. Number 5 on the list is for a Super Brains costume that hasn't been released yet, called Skunk Brains. The footage you are seeing here is from Germanshoe, so please check their channel out if you haven't already, but as you can see straight away, this is a reference to Batman, but a much stinkier Batman. The last 3 Easter eggs are probably the most obvious ones on the list, but I wanted to mention them anyway. So first up, we have the General DeZero costume for 80s Action Hero, which is 100% a reference to the Terminator, and of course Zero X Fusions as well. Then we have the CP costume for PEASHOOTER, which is a reference to Finding Nemo. The final one is for Wizard, which references Aladdin. This costume has an insane amount of references. We have the magic lamps, a flying carpet cape, we have the purple skin, which is of course blue for Aladdin's genie, and then we have a very similar hairstyle and the gold metal braces on his wrists. Anyway guys, that's about it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think of these Easter eggs in the comments below, and if you have found any others, I would love to hear them. But other than that, remember to subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Okay, thanks guys, bye.